teeth are another way to change your makeup look, to take the face from looking normal to abnormal. So think about all the different techniques we've done so far. We're changing the tone of the skin, we're changing the texture of the skin, we're changing the placement of where things are on the face. Teeth are the same exact way. Imagine if we have her as a character who's meant to be a smoker for 15 years, who's lost a few teeth in a fight, things like that. Even if it says nothing about teeth in their character description, you know for certain characters when you hear about it, you can imagine what their teeth would look like. So what we do to do that is we take a product that is safe for the mouth, which is what we use, is the Fleet Street Pegworks. It's a tooth lacquer palette. This works the same way with the 99% alcohol as the alcohol activated makeups that we've been using do. This is tested and it is safe for the mouth, so it's totally safe for the actor to have near their mouth. Please don't use anything that is not mouth safe. You don't, of course, like I've always said, you don't want to risk someone's safety for the sake of makeup. Now in this one, you have many different types that you can choose from here. You have, in this one, you have a black color, a tobacco, a coffee stain, nicotine, and a rotted color. All of these can be used to really take her beautiful pearly whites into something that you look at and you go, ew. So the way you want to do this is first determine what the character is going to be. The first thing I'm going to do for her is I'm going to make it look like she has a missing tooth. So what you want to do is the tooth needs to be very dry before you start. So take a paper towel, open your mouth, and just dry the teeth off pretty well. And you want to work fairly quick for this because the actor does have to maintain in this fairly uncomfortable position for a few moments while you work, as there can't be any moisture left on it. So what you want to do is toss that away, take a little brush, take some of your black color, and again we're working in layers and we're building up slowly. So if we want it to make it look like she has a tooth missing, we're going to start building color-wise to fill in this tooth. This is a very quick, easy way to make it look like there's no tooth there. Or if you do something like only painting the bottom half and letting it dry, you get the effect of a chipped tooth. Now this one has to go on fairly opaque to really give the illusion. This is not always the best trick for something that's really up close in person on camera, but if you take a look at that, from a distance it looks like her tooth is chipped. If we were to paint full in, it would look like the tooth was completely missing from there. Now to transition this into something that's maybe more of a nicotine look, where she's a smoker, she's got some staining to the mouth, I'm going to take a Q-tip that has some alcohol on top of it, and I'm just going to smudge around. I don't want to completely remove all of this black because, again, layering colors and having an imperfect finish is going to give you a more realistic illusion to it. So taking a tiny little bit of black and slightly darkening all of the visible teeth. You don't have to go, obviously, all the way back into the mouth, just the areas where when the mouth is open, you're going to see from there. If when the person smiles, you can see their bottom teeth, complete the bottom teeth as well. As a good rule of thumb, it is a good idea to continue at least a little bit onto the bottom, even if you just do the very top layer, so that from the different angles you get the same. They may need to take a break if they're sick of holding their mouth like this. You can give them a little breather, have them pause for a minute, and then when you're ready to go back in, once they feel comfortable again, to sit for a moment. Take another clean tissue, just tap. Again, we don't want any of that saliva remaining on the teeth because it will affect the finish. So now, we're going to take our nicotine color and lightly paint all over. Again, we're not trying to be precise. It's much more of an imperfect finish to give the look of some stained nicotine on the teeth. This is a good method too to use for, say you have a character who is an addict. Now, the makeup you would do, think of all the techniques you've used so far. So you've already learned how to do injuries. You've already learned how to simulate different textures onto the skin. And now you're learning how to add the teeth in. So do some research on what addiction specifically it is. For example, if it's a heroin addiction, type in realistic images of people with heroin addiction. Replicate that using what you already know and the techniques you already have. You may need to use some injuries to create needle marks on the arms. You may need to add more veins in. You're going to want to use this tooth painting technique that you're learning to maybe make the teeth look a little bit messed up depending on how long the addiction has been in place for. And using the same color tones similar to what we already painted in the frozen look, you're going to use similar tones to give the same illusion to the skin. It's all kind of in the same general sense of making the human body look natural, but something wrong with it, where it tricks the eyes and it kind of tricks the brain into seeing something else. It's important to not let them close their mouth until the color has completely dried. You can give a little fan. If you have your hair dryer, you can do a quick, cool blast of air. So you can see how just a tiny little bit of paint on her once beautifully white teeth now automatically make her look like something is wrong and that something has happened to her. So using this tooth paint technique in your makeup can take it to the next level instead of just leaving them white with everything else looking bad.